We are here at View Studios, the Apex experience.
What's going on, Tyler?
This is Ted Sim. He needs no introduction on this channel. We're here at NAB, but not. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. So here's the thing. We have a humongous amount of releases. So many releases that honestly we were like, how do we actually show off these products? We need a way bigger space to show all this.
Yeah.
So we came out, we rented View Studios. This is basically the #1 virtual production stage out in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And we decked the place out with every Aputure product that is currently playing. We made a museum of Aputure products out here. We're throwing some parties out here. We had Craig Keefe, ASC, teaching some classes, Matt Ryan, Super Bowl cinematographer, teaching some classes. So we decided that we'd have a lot more fun if we came a little bit off the strip. So.
Well, this is cool because you obviously have a little bit more space, but the really cool thing was, and like right before we kind of started rolling, is you were able to manipulate the house lighting, which is not something you could do on the show floor at NAB.
Yes.
And that's a great way to showcase what you do, which is lighting.
We started finding ourselves, especially on the trade show floor, we started finding ourselves in this place where we were like, just blasting the light into a wall, and we were like, look, it's bright, or like, the color quality is good, but you can't tell because you're underneath these like lights all day at the trade show lighting. So in here, people can do all the tests that they want, all the DPs that are coming through that actually really want to test before my next feature film, is this going to work for me? Those people have been coming in all day. So.
Yeah, that's really cool and I feel like it's less hectic too.
Totally.
Yeah. So obviously a huge new release, huge in like every aspect. Let's talk about it.
Ready to do it?
Let's do it.
Let's do it, sounds good. Brand new XT52, we're talking about 5,200 watts of LED power. This is the brightness equivalent of about an M90 in brightness now. It's done. We have replaced all of the biggest HMI fixtures out there now with LED power. And again, this is not only that in terms of brightness, but it's also in terms of size and weight. And I think that's probably the biggest thing that we wanted to double click on here today. A fixture like this, we've actually made it 30% lighter and smaller in full size, which means that a single person, one person now can lift and carry this fixture, can move it around and be able to rig it up into all the places that they need to go. So for people out there that are worried about weight concerns when it comes to rigging and things like that, this comes out at about 60 pounds, which again, if you're trying to put this up in something like a cherry picker or something like that, you now can run this all the way down. We have a 45-meter long extendable cable, which means that you can now leave the control box on the floor, run this anywhere you need it to go in any studio rig, any cherry picker, anything like that, not be worried about the weight concerns, and still be using the brightest LED on the market at that 5,200 watts. In addition to that, it's also got our Blair engine. So if you guys are familiar with the Blair engine, we know in the past we used to use warm white and cool white to mix that together to get the best quality white light. However, now what we've gotten to is we've gotten to that point where people out there, right, we tour all these sound stages around the world, we still see some hot lights being used. And when we ask people why are they using hot lights, or why are they using sometimes like real daylight, there's basically a small gap, right? And LED basically has been able to accomplish 95% of what everyone around the world has needed. However, for the last 5%, for the people that bring on Natalie Portman and they want it to look 100% Natalie Portman, not Natalie Portman minus 5% green, right? For those people out there, and for the people that want that je ne sais quoi, right? We've been calling it of tungsten, which looks so good and warm. We have needed to go in and dial in and do the actual spectrum match of tungsten light and daylight to real LED. And what we've done with that is, Blair, we use blue, lime, amber, indigo, and red. We recreate the spectrum at all color temperatures. And what that gives us is a perfect retina match from tungsten or daylight to LED. And for daylight, I'd say the biggest thing to look at is that indigo filter. That is something that LEDs have not had before. The indigo LED, what that allows is that recreates all the parts of fluorescence in basically real nature. Anything that's white, anything that's your skin, your nails, basically will fluoresce a little bit in real daylight, and the Blair engine recreates that effect. So there's a lot of videos that we've done about this online, but if you're ever curious about that, or want to see that last bit of color, and you care about that visual science, we can show all that information as well. One thing I want to mention here too, as far as the XT52 goes though, is that it's tunable white light, and we worked on making sure that it has the highest color quality of white light. However, beyond that, one thing that people don't realize is blue, lime, amber, indigo, red. It's also got blue, lime, amber, indigo, red, and mixed together, we've actually opened up, by a lot of user demand, HSI built in to the XT52. This update is also coming to the 1200X as well too, so you guys are getting an HSI mode in there as well. Now, is it the 1000C? Is it the 80C? Are you gonna be able to get literally 90% of the Rec 2020 color gamut? No, you're not. However, if you need something like a red sun, or a Storaro blue, or a sodium vapor streetlight, this will be able to create all of those colors in there for you, so we're building in that HSI mode. So again, in the XT52, coming to the 1200X. And then I think the last thing that I want to mention here is, as far as the actual build goes, we have designed this thing to be the most robust fixture for film sets out there. So as you guys know, this year, Aputure, we got on Dune 2, we got on Star Wars, we got on Mission Impossible, right? These sets are beating up their fixtures, right? So one of the biggest things that we've been doing is make sure that we design our fixtures to last, to be immediately serviceable, but also be designed to be able to handle any proofing that you need. So these are basically ranked at an IP55 as far as their weatherproofing and rainproofing goes. So again, super built solid. They're actually shipping at the end of this month. They're priced at about $13,000, $13,100 if you're not going with the flight case kit. And then finally, there's also a CF for now, which is the CF16 for now, and also a parallel beam adapter. Both of those are shipping in the next 2 to 3 months, so they're coming out very soon as well. But yeah, this is the XT52. We're extremely excited about it, super proud of it. And if you've got any questions, of course, let us know. We're happy to answer all those. Not only we'll try to find somebody to join the Tyler Edwards chat, but also in the Aputure user group. You can find us there on Facebook too.
So just because this light is bigger, more expensive, like this is a rental item, I think, for a lot of people. It will be for myself. But the great thing is it shares the same color engine as this light over here. And this is an owner-op light. This is an owner-op that light that lives on grip trucks, that lives in studios, that lives on, you know, our garage, our spare room, wherever we can store our lights, and it shares the same light engine as the XT52.
And this light, by the way, went on Dune 2, right? It went on the creator, right? So for everybody out there, again, I think you know about the 1200X. We launched this product, basically 1200 watts of LED power. It is tunable white, so you can get a full CCT range in here as well too, in addition to green magenta shift. Now, this is something that I want to mention for not only the XT52, but also for the 1200X. We built in the full ASC MITC, basically green magenta shift ability in there. So what does that really mean? What that really means is that for a lot of people, when we think about like art and we're starting to say, oh, we want to make it a little bit more green, a little bit more magenta, we're not thinking in terms of like, oh, make it like 20 dV higher or lower, right? No, what we're actually thinking is we're thinking, can you put a quarter gel on there? Can you put a half, basically magenta on there? So with the full range of 100% to 100%, what that means, it's a full gel of green shift and a full gel of magenta shift. So basically this is built in that same way. So it's built in the language basically that lighting technicians understand and be able to work with. Now, the 1200X, again, has that same Blair color engine, so this will be a match to your XT52 when you want to rent those on. So again, everything that we talked about before as far as fluorescing, as far as that perfect color quality, matching tungsten lights and completely closing that gap so that, again, you don't need the hot lights on set anymore. The 1200X has all this and is ready to go.
So like I said, I think this is the really cool thing about the Aputure ecosystem is they've got rental house items, but that technology is in the owner-operator realm for budgets and size of lights. I mean, that's not something that I'm going to probably throw in the back of my Tacoma, but 1200X I for sure can. And it's really cool that that technology is, I mean, I mean, that's like the ethos of Aputure is accessibility to the highest quality lights. And I don't think people understand how big of a deal the Blair engine is, both here and what we'll talk about here in just a second, is the insane quality that you get from that light. And like I was just talking about this last night with a couple of guys about the Blair engine, and it's like you start seeing the subtle nuances of skin tones when you use lights like this, and that's why so many people, you know, still want to use tungsten lights, because it shows all of that. And like what you're saying, like 95% versus 100%, and that little 5%.
No, we're visual artists. Exactly. We want that 5%.
So so you have this Blair engine here, which is, I think, like for me personally, this is like the cream of the crop kind of light. This is like the workhorse where you have that power, you have the Blair engine, it's really accurate. You can mimic sunlight, tungsten, all that stuff. But you also have the Blair CG engine.
You want to talk about that?
Yes.
Let's do it. I also got a little surprise here to show people as well. I'm going to point down to it once I finish. But we got the Blair CG engine available in 2 form factors. So one is the 80C, number 2 is the 1000C. So if you need a small movable light, right, something that you can basically position using an accent light. But again, at a lot of the ISOs that we're shooting at now, I've seen people using these lights for all kinds of things. So again, it does not need to be limited to just an accent light. The main thing with these lights is that they use the Blair CG engine. So what that is that's blue, lime, amber, indigo, red. We recreate the white light spectrum using those 5. We use cyan and green, Blair CG, building that all together. And again, what that allows us to do is it allows us to be able to use each of these colors, dial in the exact spectrum of light that we want to recreate. And then again, if you guys know Tim Kang from the company as well too, he's been working nonstop and trying to make sure that the algorithm matches so that when you dial in a color, whatever you would have normally gotten from a gel in the past, you can get from here. But beyond that, I think you guys might know, a lot of RGB LEDs have a problem where they can create a lot of colors, but they can't create certain colors. In particular, an extremely saturated yellow tends to be one of the problem colors. Extremely saturated green or magenta also tends to be big problem colors here. By dialing in these colors, adding in those LEDs, working on the color science and doing the algorithm there, you now have access to an extremely saturated yellow, which we're showing here right on the right. So again, if you want that Wes Anderson yellow, if you want that extremely ivy green or like a real purple looking magenta, this is all built into the Blair CG engine and is ready to go. So again, the 1000C and the 80C, these have been insanely popular fixtures. And what I'm happy to announce that's new at NAB, because we're here at NAB, we're also showing off the 3 light kits of the 80Cs. So these are basically designed to be the most compact and portable kit of 3 basically portable full color lights at 80 watts a piece. And again, at the ISOs that we're shooting with the brightness that we're shooting at from these fixtures, this kit plus whatever kit of stands you want is gonna basically be able to do 90% of a lot of jobs out there. And we're super excited about this because frankly, again, everybody that works at the company at some point was a filmmaker. And this is the kit that we all wanted 10 years ago. We wanted a small kit of lights that we could pack, put into a car, move anywhere, get any color that we want without having to fiddle with things, dial it all in, have it work on whatever house power solution we have. It's also built in with basically all the types of mounting and accessories that you want, as well as Fresnels, reflectors, and of course barn doors as well too. So this is the 80C 3 light kit. We just announced this today. We're super excited about it. So for instance, if you've been out there, you've been using any of the Storm fixtures from the 1200X to the 80C to the 1000C, these are really designed for you as well.
So one other thing while we're over here at View Studios, before things get really kicked off today, so they got this crazy set, and we're gonna try to go sneak in over there and take a look at it. Look at this.
So yesterday we had Craig Keefe of the ASC coming in, teaching a full class. We had American cinematographer here as well doing breakdowns. This is View Studios, and this is all of our lights, and we are calling this section the ecosystem. And the reason for that is that you've seen us do point source lights, you've seen us do bulbs, you've seen us do panels, you've seen us do mats, bars, all these things. And this is every single one of those things in play right now in an actual virtual production environment. And the goal here is when we came out as Aputure 10 years ago, there were a couple things going on. Number one, people said LED will never become a thing on high-end film sets. Number two, people said fixtures will always be from a bunch of different brands and they're not gonna match. Which means that if I dial in 260 on my HSI on one fixture and I go to another fixture, there's no color standards. So again, our goal as a company is, as a filmmaker, you shouldn't have to think, okay, 260 HSI on this fixture is the same as 260 on that. That makes sense. So our goal is build the standards in. Can we make all the form factors and can we connect it seamlessly into one ecosystem with all the control that we need? So this section just makes me happy because it's kind of like a realization of something we've been working on for the past 12 years now, which is crazy. So, yeah.
And as you can see, all of these lights are not accessible physically.
Yes.
But we have Sidus Link.
And we have new updates for Sidus Link too.
So you want to talk about those?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a little Sidus Link
section.
Little section over here.
Since the very beginning of Aputure, we've been building Bluetooth mesh modules into every single one of the lights. What that allows it to do is, when the light turns on, instead of needing to figure out IT networking or be DMX patching all of your lights together, basically Bluetooth mesh has allowed you to connect all of your lights. It builds the wireless network and your phone taps into it. Now here's the thing, on a traditional lighting console, if you want to get instantaneous control, or you want like really secure network stability to make sure there's no drops or lag or any delays or anything like that, or if you want to do complex lighting effects, you need a lighting console. However, with Sidus Link Pro, we've been building in all those features into the iPad app for us, which means that you now get not only Bluetooth, but you get Bluetooth and CRMX. And you can see behind me, we have all of our Infinimats set up here. All the Infinimats, we have broken them up pixel by pixel, so you can actually see as I change my red here. Here's my red light getting brighter and lower. My yellow here. And everything has instantaneous control. So as I actually move my finger on the slider, you'll see the light is actually changing in real time behind me. Also, in addition to that, you also get full control like built-in Q stack. So if I actually want to animate in lighting effects or things like that, you can actually be able to see basically multiple cues, and just like a timeline effect, you can actually do different chase sequences or effects like that. So again, if you want to do something like animated lighting or a single pixel that bounces back and forth, these are basically places and areas that you can build that in. So this is Sidus Link Pro. In the future, we are showing off features like auto patching, which is something that I think we talked about last year. Auto patching basically means that you're not only going to get CRMX and all the benefits of that, but using Bluetooth, it'll actually communicate with your light fixtures, figure out what DMX profile and DMX address they need to be set to, change your lights remotely, change it remotely, and set everything all up on your iPad app. It'll communicate, get the effect and the connection done for you. So our goal is that whole thing, that whole complex thing of networking that we've been doing in the past, we want to make it a one-button press so that you push it, you press it, and everything dials in one place. So Sidus Link Pro, this is really the software ecosystem that controls all the Aputure lights in one place.
Dude, Ted, that was a marathon.
Thanks, man. We covered a lot of lights. Yeah. Big space. We need a lot of space.
And you can control the house lights. That's the best part, is you can control the house lights. And you can actually see the lights doing what they're intended to do. Yeah. You can't do that on Control 4, so it's super cool. Really cool that you did this here. Hopefully this is like a new thing that for NAB. It's nice to get away from the show floor and the hustle and the bustle, and hang and see and all the demonstrations and everything and all that. So Ted, thank you so much for your time. It's always great seeing you.
Dude,
once a year, it's not enough, but hey, once a year is great.
We'll make it work.
Yes.
Thanks so much for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. And Tyler, thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, man.
Thanks, man.